You are listening to Rouge Radio, a proud member of the Canadian Football Podcast Network.
It's time to get the point as Rouge Radio is ready to kick off.
Ready!
The best football talk with the best in the business.
So what is the cost? You have 2 first-round picks this year because the Argos were dumb enough to trade for Drew Willie.
A few rookies.
We go directly to the on-field product. We welcome to the show the 20th overall pick in this past Sunday's CFL draft, DeAndre Wright of the Alouettes. DeAndre, welcome to the show.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
And the occasional Hall of Famer.
Please welcome Doug Brown, who is one of the members of the current class of 2016 in the CFL Hall of Fame. Doug, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thank you guys for the kind words and for having me on the program.
Rouge Radio is on the air. Here's your hosts, Robert Dalton and Tony Allen.
We are back to another edition of the Rouge Radio Podcast, episode 561, powered by the Canadian Football Podcast Network. My name is Robert Dalton, and if you're watching this on YouTube, well, then you can see something's different. But if you're just listening to this, calm down. We'll explain in a little bit. Again, this is the Rouge Radio Podcast, sponsored by the good people over at Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com, enter the promo code Rouge. That tells them that we sent you there, and it also gives you 20% off your entire order, plus free worldwide shipping. Go to Manscaped. Your balls will thank you. And if you're watching this, you're noticing that's not Tony. Tony's in Edmonton, but we go live to Edmonton.
Well,
how does that work?
I'm sure he's around. I mean, if we just Tony? No. I guess. Okay. I guess you'll have to do with me.
Tell me, you did not just look underneath your desk for Tony.
I sure did. Yeah. I mean, that's where most Calgary Stampeders fans are. They're kind of hide under the table, and then they pop up at the last minute and say 18-0 in a Grey Cup, and then they disappear again. That's how it works. Yeah.
Oh, even when he's not on the show, Ryan Ballantyne still gets his. He's catching strays. He's catching strays on a show that he doesn't listen to about a team that. Well, I get it.
Yeah, it's fine.
I guess it's a trend. You become the second Edmonton Elk fan on this show this year. We had Joe Belineski to talk about the Stadnick Invitational. Have you partaken? Have you done your golf?
Sorry, you cut off there. What did you say?
Have you done your golf play or whatever? I guess I should say, have you done your golf thingy? That's what they're calling it. It's not a tournament.
They call it, the golf thingy. Yeah. I was very happy to sponsor somebody this year because my knee is messed up, so I can't do the golfing thing myself. But I sponsored Joe so that I would match whatever his round is, so that I can contribute. Because when we had him on, I thought that was just a fantastic idea, but I couldn't. Unfortunately. Unless it's maybe I could do mini golf.
He did say that we could do mini golf because I at the time I had planned to take my daughter out, and thank God she doesn't listen to the show. Otherwise, this is the second time that I brought this up, and I haven't taken her yet.
Yeah, don't make promises on pod. Well, yeah, again, if they don't listen, then you're probably fine. But I might have to do the mini golf thing, and then I can contribute that way. But it's what a great way to have some fun and raise some money for a great cause.
Exactly. Hey, I don't think I introduced you yet. Long time viewers or listeners of the podcast will know you as Andrew from the Turf District podcast. We know you, the friends and family know you as the Freep.
That's right. Yes, exactly. And that is my tagline, I guess, or my moniker is the Freep, which was given to me by my dad when I was very little and just stuck with me. and that's okay. It's a good memory to him. It is. Yeah, it's a good memory. I mean,
it has its sentimental. Yeah, I mean, it's a sentimental nickname. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
It is, and it's hilarious when Morley Scott is coming towards tailgate and says, "Hey, Freep," and I have to respond. Like it's pretty wild. So yeah, I'm not really, but yes, I will also answer to Andrew, and most times that's what it is when we are on the podcast.
Yeah, and if you're wanting to see or hear Tony is actually in Edmonton, which is ironic, don't you think? There we go.
A tad.
Yeah. A little too ironic.
I don't know. We should probably ask Alanis, see what she thinks. Yeah.
All right. Okay. It's all right. Somewhere in there, we found the new title of this podcast, this episode here. That's great.
I appreciate all of the options that could come from this.
Let me see.
I'm excited to find
Jagged
out.
Little Pill. You ought to know.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm a child of the 90s. There's a couple of things. Obviously, I brought you in to talk about the upcoming week, and we will definitely do that. I figure, I mean, there's a lot of things. Obviously, we want to talk about the vibe in Edmonton, right? I tuned in a little bit late, about 10, 15 minutes into the game in Edmonton, and I look, there's fans in there. And I was like, oh, be still my beating heart. They're winning, and I mean, I think it was just over 20,000 in there, which is it's small chump change when it comes to capacity or what's normal. Oh, there's Tony.
Yeah, there. Even better. Yeah, that would be Wilson. Just making sure that we're all paying attention. Yeah.
It's chump change compared to what they used to and what capacity is, but compared to what they were like last year. Or even like within the last 6 years, it's just, my God, that must get you right in the feels.
Oh, 100%. I mean, even compared to game 1 of this season, where I thought we probably had 10, maybe 11,000, and yeah, this one cracked 20, and you could feel it. You could feel the energy. You could feel, like you said, the vibe is there.
And you could feel it through the TV. Like that was just tremendous.
Yeah, and so I can't wait till it grows. Like the Labor Day rematch this year is going to be a blast. I feel like
I can't wait.
So many people there. I think it'll be fantastic. The thing is the first 2 games that Edmonton had were Montreal and Ottawa, right? And so East teams don't draw as well when you're out here, and that's not to say that they're not worth watching. It's just
Ottawa isn't, but I mean.
Well, fair. But I just think it was it's like, well, they don't have the same following of people maybe in the city that would go. So here we go. Now we've got BC at home, and it helps. They're 4-1, absolutely. But the team is doing the right things. They're promoting the right way. They're doing the things in the community. They're growing, at the grassroots level by doing, flag football and the Elks Selects team and all these kind of things that are drawing people in to see a team that is, looks like it has taken a turn the right way. It's pretty hard not to cheer for a team that's led by Mark Killam. He's just a guy that draws you right in. And I think that's it's been a big help. And so now people want to come out and see that happen.
Yeah, and I tell you, it's so different. Can you imagine this team head coached by Chris Jones, Garrett Marino on the defensive line, and Bo Levi Mitchell in his prime? Like we're talking prime douche Bo Levi Mitchell at the helm. Oh man, that if that team turned around, you're like, okay, you've had your fun. You can start sucking again. No, it's like right. You've got like 8 other fan bases to be like, right on. I'm happy this is happening.
That's
good
right,
for you.
Exactly. And I think that's the thing is that, being a football fan, and I will be the first to admit that being a football fan, I was spoiled for many, many years. And, at 2019, I was like, oh, that wasn't that great. And then 2021, it was like, oh, this is really not good. And then it kind of just got worse. And I know even with us doing the podcast, it was just like, how are we going to talk about this one? And it became a cathartic event instead of an exciting event. And
it became a chore. It became a chore as opposed to something that you loved, right? Yeah. No.
Right. And so But I do think it was that moment of, okay, that what we have is the football family out of this, and that was good. Tailgate was always awesome. But let me tell you, now that they're winning, that tailgate was hopping, and it was the energy starts early. And Mike and I went through 80 smash burgers in just over an hour. Like, it was crazy how many people were coming by. But it's a lot of fun. And then you get in and you feel that energy. And I think that feeds the team to do even better. And that's the kind of the positive circle that you want to see, right? The team does well, the fans come, they give energy back to the team so that they do well. And it's like, this is a great, I like this. So, best start that they've had in 8 years. And so just can't, you got to enjoy that time when it's there, and you appreciate it a lot more after the last few.
Definitely. I'm in a little group chat with the co-sponsor of the Stadnick Invitational, Dave and Tony. I think Dave sent a reel from Facebook, and was talking about this one comedian talking about Muslims in Canada, and it was talking about, okay, well, it's tough to be a Muslim in Winnipeg because you got bombers, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And then as a joke, I was like, okay, great. Now Winnipeg's going to be forced to change their name and have a crappy few seasons, miss the playoffs because of coaching gaffes, and then nobody's going to want to see them. It's tongue in cheek, by the way. That's I think if you're using that the name change as a reason not to come. I love Eddie Steele on social media.
Yes,
he is just, it's like, you know what? If you call yourself a football fan, this is the team that you need to show up for. This team is running. And now, granted, I'm not going to say that they're without faults and there are holes. I think this team is. You shut down Justin Rankin, you have a tremendous good chance of winning that football game, despite how on fire Cody Fajardo is. But still freaking fun to watch. It's, I had a good, and it's a different size. Justin Rankin reminds me of Charles Roberts. Charles Roberts was like 5 foot nothing, 120 pounds soaking wet. But you give him the ball, and like the old proverbial, give him an inch, he'll take a mile. But Justin Rankin, doesn't that describe him to a T?
Well, Justin Rankin, we all call him cheat code because that's what it looks like. Half the time when he does that bounce to the left around the line, and you're just like, where did that jump cut come from? And then he's gone. Charles Roberts is an interesting one. I would almost combine, it was like putting Charles Roberts and Josh Ronick together, because you have this guy that just isn't afraid of hitting people, wants to run through them, but has incredible speed. And when you're at the games and you watch him go out to the side and just like pull away from guys, it's crazy. I haven't seen speed like that. And not exactly to the same level, but like that reminds me of Gizmo, where you would see him come around, and if he had that opening, like, forget it, like nobody could catch him. And I love watching Rankin for that. He's a reason to be in the seats all on his own. And you're right, you shut down Rankin, okay, you have a better chance, but this defense, I think they're the strongest part of the team. And they are playing lights out. Now, granted, to be fair, they have played Ottawa twice and basically Chase Bryce against BC.
You can't fault them for that. I mean, you're only scheduled
in front of you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So, but 10 interceptions in the last 3 games. They bring pressure. The addition of Malik Carney has really put the pressure on the one side, which is opening up the guys up the middle. You're seeing Noah Curtis and Jared Brinkman getting in there. Robbie Smith got a sack, his first one in green and gold. He's only been here for a year and a half. So I mean, to me, the defense is also exciting to watch, and just how they can, not only get turnovers, but just cause havoc. And it helps, because when the offense is still learning some things and struggling a little bit, the defense is picking them up.
And special teams isn't killing them either, right? I mean, it used to be in Edmonton, even if they had some great games from their defense, their special teams would let them down, either a missed field goal or a fumble on a return or what have you, or their offense would have a great game and then their special teams would just kind of slow the momentum. Now they're getting all three aspects of the game, like just complementary football. Might not be perfect, might not be the most prettiest wins like it was last week against BC, but it's still kind of rolling all together. It's all meshing. Like it's something that we haven't seen from Edmonton. I'm going to say like the Ricky Ray years, like even like the late the 2000s.
Yeah, I would like. And I know it's a one-off, and obviously it's easy to call on, but I see some of those leadership qualities that we had in 2015, where you had Mike Riley and JC Sherritt and Odell Willis, and they were the leaders on the team, and you see that a little bit with this team, where Cody is the offensive leader, and then you look at a guy like Nick Anderson. Although he's been hurt, he is a leader in that room, and a guy like Cordell Jackson, who has really stepped up in basically being even being young, he's one of the vets in that secondary that kind of brings them all together. And I love how they play off one another. And we had Dave Jameson on our show last night, and JMO said the same thing that you just said. He goes, this reminds me a lot of like that 2002, 2003 team, where they just had each other's backs, and it didn't matter which phase stepped up, but every phase could step up at some point and win you a game. And so it's it's kind of nice to be able to say that. And it feels even better after having the struggles for those 5 years. So this is it's nice to have that return and the excitement in the locker room and in the stadium.
You can say this because Tony isn't here, the poster boy for Stamps fandom. You love being 5-1 and first in the West, while the Stamps are just below 500, don't you?
Oh, of course, of course, of course, I love that. I think the better part of that for me is that the Stamps are playing with their best guys. Like you look at BC, and it's they weren't playing with some of their best guys. They had a bunch of really good receivers out. Now Nathan Rourke goes down. They've had a lot of. And I know every team will say injuries don't matter, but man, they got hit.
It's funny because with BC, it's from my preseason preview, I always said that BC, their biggest hole going into the season was their secondary. Their secondary just happened to be the only unit that happened to be healthy, right? And when that happens, they just got exposed. Now, granted, in Edmonton, that front seven stepped up to be the front seven that I thought that they were going to be, and
100%.
And I think that made it a lot easier for the secondary. Will that be a one of? I mean, we could talk about that for a different podcast, but in that regards, yeah, it kind of sucks for BC, but at the end of the day, it really, really exposes that secondary. I think just more than anything.
Yeah, I agree.
Before we go on to our Week 8 preview, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, obviously, the elephant in the room. I don't want to spend too much time talking about it, just because I felt bad thinking certain ways about it, because I had, if we all had these sentiments on Sunday evening, and then finding out some new information the next day. So we don't want to talk too much time about it because I feel like I'm going to say something that I'll regret that I shouldn't have to regret. But this episode will be dedicated to the life of Bhishma Rajaguru, and I apologize if I mispronounced that name. I'm not the best at doing that, so I completely apologize. Gone too late or too young, and you deserve a full 80 more years at the very least. So Godspeed, and I think that's about as much as I could tell without going too deep into the situation. Obviously, I've posted some videos on TikTok regarding that. So if you do have inquiring about any further insight of my opinions on that, head over to Rouge Radio Pod for some conversations there. Before we get into the thought just came into my head because in earlier years, not in the CFL, there's like a seller's market or a buyer's market like there is in the NHL by trade deadline. Mm-hmm. I think Edmonton's in a buying market at this point, right?
Oh, they would be. 100%.
Fantasy GM. Let's say it's week 20 right now, and the standings are the same as they are right now. Record be damned, because we don't want to go down that road. What are you looking for? What are you willing to trade to get? What would make your team more complete?
Oh man. When does the trade deadline hit this year?
Why ask a question that nobody knows?
That's right. Nobody knows. I think it's mid-August or something like that.
I know it's in October. I know that it's it's always in October. And
even with the earlier season, I thought it would be earlier. Okay.
I'm Googling it right now, so I'll hopefully find out, because even AI probably doesn't know. AI, CFL has a trade
I found no such occurrence of a trade deadline in the CFL.
Please stop lying to me.
I think if there was something that I would be looking for, the Elks have been hit again with injuries right up the gut of the offensive line. Mm-hmm. And Ed Hervey went out and upgraded the line, bringing in guys like Jordan Murray and Brendan Bordner and Coulter Woodmansey. Coulter Woodmansey goes down. Then David Beard goes down, and now Carter O'Donnell goes down. And it's just like, okay, and that's not to say that the guys that are remaining are like Cordy is excellent. And I'm glad that we had him as the sixth guy that could come into any spot. Mm-hmm. But I mean, we were supposed to be starting, 3, if not 4 Canadians across the offensive line. And now we have 2. And we're there at this last game, we had a guy who was drafted in May in playing left guard. And when Cody Fajardo is so important to this team and the success of this team, that would always be an area that I'd be looking at. Is there a offensive lineman that would fit in and be able to gel quickly with a group, just to kind of recover from some of those injury sides of things. But other than that, I think they have the right pieces. I just think they need to, especially on the offense right now, they just need to find a way for them to click. Yeah. And part of that is they have some receivers playing out of position. Some of that is that we're having this rotation on the offensive line, so Cody's not getting as much time as he normally would. And part of that is trying to build something in, because so many teams key in on Rankin. So how do you? I love in the last few games where they've been trying to run a double back set with Javon Leake in there as well, and you're just not sure who's going to get it. that type of stuff takes time to perfect and do it different enough that the other team isn't like, oh, this is the play that we know it's going to happen, right? So I think yeah, the pieces are there. They just need to learn to execute, and they've done well enough to win games so far. They have a tough stretch ahead, and that's going to challenge that ability to find those wins.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like usually when you go into free agency, like the Edmonton did with their offensive line, that it takes some time to those guys to gel. But then they got like 3 of them from the same team, so like they gelled already. So that actually gave them a step up compared to like they just familiarize yourself with the playbook in Edmonton. That's pretty much the only drawback, right? Now,
right. Well, and they were playing with David Beard in Hamilton, so it was just like we had pretty much other than Carter O'Donnell or Mark Cordy going in. It was all guys that played.
So you really didn't have that big of a difficulty task in regarding to forcing them to gel. Usually, in this case, 6 weeks is usually when they start getting that cohesive unit together and start working as a unit. Now with the injuries, it's kind of like starting over from square one. So it's going to be interesting to see how Edmonton battles that adversity. Not saying that they don't have no-name players, because I think they've stepped in admirably. Maybe not to the level that they expected, but it's going to take some time. I think if there's any kind of long-term injuries on that offensive line, which I imagine that there possibly would be. I haven't taken a look at the injured reserve this week, but I imagine that there's probably going to be another 2, maybe 3 weeks worth of why didn't you block that guy? It's just kind of like it happens. It happens. So I've been how that relates to this week in Saskatchewan as the Edmonton Elks go into Saskatchewan to battle the Riders fresh off their bye. The Riders are favored by 4.5. The over-under is set at 57.5. Before we get into our preview, we are partnered with the good people over at Sports Interaction. Go to SIA.com/Rouge. Your first deposit will be matched up to 100%. And as always, Tony, who's apparently under Andrew's desk or somewhere barking, and myself, we please play and gamble responsibly. You're going to be in Regina, I saw online. You're going to be partaking in the festivities of Riderville. So it's going to be interesting to see how your take it is, because I think if you've ever taken this trip in years past, you're probably like, just, okay, where's that paper bag?
Yeah. Actually, this will be my first trip to Mosaic of any kind. I haven't ever watched a football game in Regina, so I had 2 stadiums left to knock off on my CFL tour, and Saskatchewan was one and Toronto is the other. And so I had a friend that said, hey, well, if you want to come to Saskatchewan, I have a ticket for you. And so this year I was able to kind of make it work, and away we go. So I'm excited to have the experience. I don't know at this particular moment if I'm going to be, coming out of there joyous, but I am excited about being there and experiencing it. And I mean, this is the top 2 teams in the West right now, so that it's going to be a good game. That's really what we want. And better if the better shade of green wins. That'd be wonderful. But I'm not I'm not going all out and saying that is going to happen. I'm not Valentining this. I'm just saying that it's going to be good.
I'll say this, that as a fan of any other color but green, I just maybe spontaneous combustion. I don't know.
Asteroid? You're voting for the asteroid?
Well, I was going to say, I hope both teams tie, but Stuart Johnson said F that. So.
Yeah, no more of that. No more of that at all.
Yeah. Although I'm, after last week's game between Ottawa and Winnipeg, give me all the Tuesdays. or is that what we're going to call them? The
I don't know, the Toonie Toonies, the Toonie toss,
the Toonie Rouges, the Toonie toss, the Touges,
the Touges.
Yeah,
great. I love it. Yeah. I thought it was good. It was very interesting to see how one team knew how to play the 2-point conversions and the other team really didn't.
It was funny how that works. It was like the obviously the first 2-point conversions for both teams went off pretty easy, right? I mean except
Geno Lewis made an incredible
catch. You can't blame the DB on that one. That was just Geno Lewis becoming like peak Geno Lewis. But I was looking at I was rewatching the game because I tend to rewatch them to see if I can do better. No, I'm just joking. No, I'd be like, okay, to see things from a different angle, right? From a different point of view, and that the Bombers attempt where I think it was Gavin Cobb that caught it.
Yep,
it's wide open. You essentially just ran the same route that was it Pokey Wilson ran?
Pokey Wilson, yeah, the exact same route and in the same spot.
And nobody saw it coming. And Ottawa's turn, they read it. Bombers defense read it. Like that ball. By the time Jake Maier went to go, put his arm back to throw it, the coverage was already there. And
they lined up guys at the line to make sure that they couldn't do that same play. Like I was shocked though that the Red Blacks were playing zone. I know I think Suter said it or whoever was color on that game, but why are you playing zone on? Get up on those guys and Winnipeg took advantage.
Yeah, so. I'm glad for it, definitely. But again, that was the game where nobody wanted to win. It seemed
correct.
I mean, it looked like for the first 3.5 quarters, Winnipeg did not want to win, and then for the rest of the game, Ottawa said, "Hey, we don't either."
Yeah, we don't. Let me drop every interception that comes our way.
It's like, oh, you don't want to win? Well, hold my freaking beer. That's
right. I could have intercepted that, but you only hit me right in the hands. I mean, I don't know how I was supposed to catch it.
Well, those are DBs. I think and in their defense, I will say that DBs, if it was just a regular catch or a regular catch drill, they probably would catch that. Most of the time, they are reacting to prevent someone from catching the ball, and they literally sometimes have to react almost like the flick of the switch, right? And it's very tough. Yep. There was that one, I think it was Shakur Brown, that he definitely should have had that one. Dietrich Nichols, the one in overtime, was very close. That's not on him. And honestly, it should have been caught by Tommy Neal, but that's a topic for a different conversation too as well. But that shouldn't have even...
It's funny when you first said, DB, they are DBs, and in all fairness, they were trying to catch a ball thrown by Jake Maier. Like, I thought that's what you were going to say.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They do have to react. Oh, there's that too. Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
All right. I think we've had enough fun at Jake Maier's expense. Without comment. This isn't a Jake Maier show. No. He doesn't have a show. And if he did, it would be incomplete. Wait. If he did, it would be incomplete. There we go.
That's much better. Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to week 8. The Edmonton Elks in Saskatchewan. Where do you have this one going?
Oh, it's a tough one. It's I don't know. Cody said this after the game last week. He's like, I don't know who the schedule maker is, but why is it that we're always getting the team off the bye? It always seems to be that way. And then they played.
There's always one team that comes off there's one team every year. Like, I know that they try to spread it out, and Edmonton definitely isn't the only one, and they may actually have the majority of them, like the most of all teams. But one year, there's always one team that has far and above that kind of schedule where they play one, like they're the only, it seems where they're the only one playing a team coming off the bye.
Off the bye, yeah, exactly. So this is this will be their 7th game, and 4 of the games they've had so far, they're playing the team that just came off a bye, and 2 of them are this will be the 4th, I guess, and 2 of them are on short weeks to top it. Mm-hmm. So Edmonton has a steep hill to climb here. Again, coming off a short week, facing a team that is coming off the bye, who also happen to be the Grey Cup champions. I think it's a really tough test. And I'm 100% going to put the disclaimer on here that I am homering this game, and I understand that because I'm going to be there, and I really want them to just find a way. They have had some luck in Regina against the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and Cody Fajardo, when he goes back there, he still seems like he wants to prove a point, and Cody Fajardo with a chip on his shoulder is the best Cody Fajardo. Mm-hmm. And so I'm gonna say it's very, very close. I do think that they hit the over on this. I'm gonna go that Edmonton pulls it out 32-30.
I like your prediction on the over. By the way, when it comes to CFL, there's no homer. It's Ryan Ballantyne.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to Ballantyne this. That's what I should have said. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. He's very happy that it was named after him.
Yeah. I like the over prediction on this one, because I think sometimes when defenses, when they go up against strong offenses, they tend to really kind of overthink things. And especially, and let's be honest, there's going to be a lot of emotion into this game when you're Saskatchewan. You're coming off the bye. You've got what we talked about previously. There could be something where this comes in, like this has everything of the making of like a shootout. And I go back to the first game at New Mosaic, where I think it was the Bombers that were the first game there. Saskatchewan comes up to like a 17-0 lead. Winnipeg comes out and settles everything down, and then goes up to like a 30-20 lead. Saskatchewan ties it up, going to overtime, and then the visitors win. I have a feeling this is going to be one of those games. Might not be that much, but I think it might actually go into overtime, and it's going to be defense optional. I think you're going to have like not even career numbers. You're just going to have you're going to see a punt return for a touchdown. You're going to see a pick six. You're going to see a 100-yard dash for a touchdown. You're going to. It's just going to be like, if you want to see it, you're going to see it in this game. But I think Edmonton is going to come out on top, and there's no calculated equation that made me come out to that. It's just a gut feeling. That it might be the after effects of me eating Subway lettuce, that gut feeling, but
could be from
Taylor Farms, or whatever has that parasite now. But,
whatever it is, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It has taken me out a couple times this week. That's TMI. Anyway, but I do have the over on this one, and I do think Edmonton does cover the spread and a slow prediction that they do come out with the victory. I will go with like a 35-32 win. In this one. Next game is
with all the overtime and things, though, you're basically telling me make sure that I bring my blood pressure medication. That's great. Thank you so much.
I mean, depends on how the game goes, right? Like once it gets in overtime, sure, I guess. Yeah. I mean, it's like 10 minutes. I mean, is it really going to affect your blood pressure? I don't know.
This team constantly affects my blood pressure.
Listen, if Saskatchewan, bring the blood, bring the BP medicine.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Friday, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers host the Calgary Stampeders. Some big news. The Calgary Stampeders have re-signed Damien Alford. I don't know if he's going to be active, as he appears to have a hamstring injury. He's limited in practice. They are soon to be getting back as well. Reggie Begelton doesn't look like he's going to be available, but Adrian Green is available, which is key because he always plays this Bombers offense tough. Zach Collaros, still on the 6-game list. Drew Brown, 2 games, 2 wins. Granted, that last one wasn't a Picasso, but it is in Winnipeg. Winnipeg is favored by 1.5, and the over-under is set at 60.5. This one, I think I take the over on this one. I honestly, like, this is too close where I don't even know if I'm really confident to take a winner either way, because both defenses are very, suspect. I mean, as much as I think that Orimolade is that backbone of that team, same with Hutchins, right? Like, those are phenomenal players on that defensive line, and that secondary is great, but they are still, like, they're giving up yards like it's a bodily function. Vernon Adams he's putting up like massive like MOP numbers, but they're not like consistent throughout the game. Like, something's got to give, right? And then in Winnipeg just seems to be, okay, we're gonna score a touchdown here. We're gonna have time of possession in our favor. We're not going to do anything with it, and at the same time, we're going to give up big explosion plays, right? So something's got to give. I do like the over in this one because I don't think these defenses match up well against the opposing offenses.
That's fair.
I'm going to kick myself. I'll take Winnipeg just for the home field advantage, just for that alone. I think just given how they handled Toronto's offense the last time that they played, and I used home in quotations, I think they handled them pretty well, pretty decent. Toronto's offense is put in like tops in the league against Winnipeg, and then of course against Hamilton. Very, very pedantic, right? Very, very pedestrian. And not to saying that the Calgary's offense is on the same level or Toronto's offense is on the same level on Calgary's, but I just have this feeling that while it's going to be defense is optional again, similar to the last game, I do think Winnipeg comes out. Sergio Castillo's 60-yard field goal, walk off to win it. Winnipeg wins 33-32.
Okay. Wow, that's a really close one. I will also take the over. I think that Calgary played 1.5 decent games against Montreal, who I still think is the best team in the league right now. Didn't come out with the win because it's Montreal. And I mean, I hate to say it, that I hate to say it, but I don't hate to say that Vernon Adams is playing very well. He is playing very well. And their defenses let them down. I agree with you that it'll probably be a little bit of defense optional, but I think that Vernon Adams wants to show that, they've got some weapons, though. Their receiving core is pretty good. And so I think that ends up being the difference. Just when Vernon Adams gets going, he can put up points. And I can't remember who they were playing. Was it BC when he racked up almost 60 points? Like,
it was Toronto.
It was Toronto, right?
Yeah.
So
7 touchdowns.
Like crazy, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's the difference. I think that Calgary is going to find ways to score touchdowns, and Winnipeg is going to, score some touchdowns, but they're going to be kicking more field goals, and Sergio is great for that. Calgary doesn't want to kick field goals because their guy's not so good. So,
we'll just call him not Sergio.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. He's not Sergio. So I will say that Calgary pulls this one off. I'm going to go with the 34-23 type score. So just the under.
Just doing the math. Okay, yeah, there we go. Next game is the Toronto Argonauts in BC, the battle of the teams who were escorted out of their home field due to the World Cup. BC is favored. No, what is it? Toronto. I got to get glasses, dude. Toronto is favored by 3.5, and the over/under is set at 57.5. Home in BC, obviously, we know the details. BC's getting some guys, relatively one guy at a week back. It remains, it's still too early to see who's going to be available. Depth charts aren't available. But we do know that Chase Bryce will be starting. And we do know that Sean Lemon is back in the CFL. So, granted, I had to mention Sean Lemon when I mentioned the over/under and the betting lines. Yes.
Proudly sponsored by SIA?
Yeah.
Right now? Okay, great. Yeah.
And it's not Sports Interaction. It's Sean Interaction Association. Obviously, some injuries on the defensive line, not getting to the quarterback enough. And they also brought back Dwayne Hendricks, who they released like a week ago, right? So there's some issues there. There's a difference between being in shape and in game shape. There's no doubt that Sean Lemon can beat me in a lot of things football related. I don't know if Sean Lemon could be a lot of offensive lineman at this point without having playing a snap in like 8 months, right? I don't like this game to be. If we take last week's performance by BC's front seven, let's say that is the first game of what we call a domino effect, where they are starting to play as advertised. I think take the under on this one, but I can't take Chase Bryce, a Chase Bryce led team, against any team whatsoever, and maybe Ottawa, and that's pushing it right now. I can't take a Chase Bryce team against a team like Toronto. I can't. So I'll take Toronto to cover, and I'll definitely take the under in this one. I think Toronto wins this one 23-10 over the BC Lions. Yeah, it's it's gonna like that 13-point difference will indicate a blowout, but trust me, it is not going to be a blowout. We're talking field goals by two non-Sergios.
two non-Sergios.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. We're not even saying it right. It's two non-Sergios.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that's right. You got to say it the right way. So I 100% agree with you. It'll be the under. I also am right behind what you were saying as far as I do not trust a Chase Bryce led team at this particular moment. The BC defense could make up for some of it. But there's just a little comedy effect here in the fact that, Chad is griping about, being moved because of the World Cup and where do they get to play before they finally get to go home? Right. The other team that got kicked out because of the World Cup. And they're playing in their home. I wish it was a Toronto home game. I would have just killed me. I would have laughed so hard. Like, it would have been fantastic.
This whole podcast has been like irony themed, like just without us knowing it.
Right, with it's just there. So I do think that Toronto just has enough to get by, but I do think that that BC defense keeps it very close. I'm going to go 21-16 in favor of the Boatmen.
Yeah. Last game of the week. This might be the most interesting one, but also could be the most boring one, depending how things go. The Hamilton Tiger Cats are in Montreal to face the Alouettes. The Alouettes are favored by 10.5, and the over/under is set at 56.5. Davis Alexander is playing lights out football. I don't I don't know where to sit with this guy, because this guy has a very punchable face. And but at the same time, he's just like, how can you not like be a fan of his abilities, right? I mean, he's just like everything that you wish your quarterback could do, he's doing it, and then some, right? I mean, and it's just, but I mean, if there's one thing that really drags Montreal down is their discipline. They seem to be taking a rash of penalties, more than what we're used to or accustomed to. And I think if there's going to be, I mean, we saw like in week 1, like Hamilton essentially was given the whole field worth of penalties, and they just came that short in week 1. Now that we've got Trey Ford, another full week of practice, I don't think that we're going to see the same Trey Ford that we saw last week against Toronto. I think the whole thing on Trey Ford, as you know, is very inconsistent. Like, and we're not talking like bad Trey, good Trey. We're talking about decent Trey, and I can't think of anything witty off the. We're talking about, we're talking decent Trey and Trey that dish you have to pick up. Yeah, dish Trey. Yeah, I was going to go like something fast food related, but like Taco Bell Trey. You know, like
okay, fair enough. Yeah, that works too.
Which goes in. It's topical with the whole lettuce and the whole parasite thing, right? This week
stayed right in there. Well done.
I don't, but at the same time, like, oh man, that Hamilton defense is just, it's so stingy. And the only thing that really would take them out of the game is if Hamilton throws a lot of interceptions, fumbles, basically turnover galore in the first half. Montreal is not used to forcing those amount of turnovers thus far. In fact, I think they're somewhere in the middle of the pack right now. I haven't taken a look at the stats, but it's just not by memory. It doesn't appear to be that way. But they're still a better team, even with Bo Levi Mitchell. And for that alone, because they're at home, I will definitely give them the win on this one. I think Hamilton covers, but it might be by virtue of garbage time. I think you're going to see like maybe like a 30 to 10, and then 2 touchdowns later, in the final 5 minutes to make it. And then they're going to want to go for a 2-pointer, and they're going to fail on that one. So essentially, it's going to be 30-22.
Okay.
Over the Hamilton Tiger Cats. So 30-22. Hamilton covers, but when Montreal comes out with the W.
Yeah, that line is crazy to me. Like, okay, don't get me wrong. Montreal's playing very well.
I think that line is so Trey Ford.
Like 100%. 100%. You just don't know, right? And what I found when Trey was here is he'd have a game like he did last week where 100 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns and what did he have? 200 and something yard passing. Good game. But the Toronto defense is not the Montreal defense. And now they've watched all that video. I've seen it. I saw it happen against Winnipeg quite a bit when Trey would get the ball, and Willie Jefferson basically says, "Okay, try and throw it," like, and just that's it. Puts his arms up. Okay, and like nothing. I don't know how many guys on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers knocked down balls in that game and just made it so he couldn't run and he couldn't throw. So I feel like Montreal's defense is going to be good at that. They're going to put that pressure on. They're good at contain. They have excellent secondary that can go and grab a ball if they know where it's headed. So I think that Hamilton does cover, and again, I agree with you. It's kind of probably going to be in garbage time, but I'm going to say that this one goes like 35-28 in the way of Montreal.
All right, so you're taking the over on that one. Okay.
Yep.
All right. I don't know how we're going to track that, but yeah.
You'll have to text me next week. Hey, you did well. Oh, thanks.
Yeah. I lost $5.
Really good job on calling the Elks to win. That's right. That's what I want to hear. If you just text me that, I'm good. The rest I don't. The rest is fine. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll text it to you when, just as the game ends.
Perfect.
But you won't get it till like the 24 hours after that, because cell service in Regina is just awful.
Got to put more quarters in the internet there to make sure that it works properly.
Yeah. All right, that'll do it for this week's podcast. Hey, final thought. Like, I'll let you have your final thoughts if you want. I've been watching a lot of CFL football on YouTube. I just want to give a shout out to CFL Classics on YouTube. It is just a galore of playlists. Like right now, I'm watching the 2018 season, and I was watching the game between Toronto and Winnipeg, and during this podcast, the Trevor Harris Ottawa Redblacks and Hamilton is playing, and I haven't been paying attention, but it's a low-scoring game in the third. Ottawa's winning 6-5. I can't remember which game this is.
Wow. Wow. That's a football game.
That's a defense is optional in a hockey game.
Okay, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. I didn't know Hamilton had a hockey team until just now, but now I do. Yeah.
Well, they have an AHL team.
That's fair.
Yeah. So
that's fair.
Looking forward to that. Any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. I do I just want to I know you touched on it earlier. I do want to, I feel bad for both families that are mourning after this past weekend. And it's very, very tough situation all the way around. I just wanted to throw that in. But I gotta say this season so far, and it's not just because the Elks are 5-1. I'm finding it so interesting to see, based on what I had kind of predicted pre-season and how things are falling out quite differently than what I expected. And it's one of the things I love about the CFL is that you just never know. And that final 3 minutes, thank you for leaving it at the 20-second clock in the final 3 minutes. Some of the games this year have been just incredibly thrill and I'm loving every minute of it. I hope we get more of it every week. So I guess I just wanted to say that I always love coming on to chat football with you, but it's really great when you're seeing so many exciting games one way or the other.
Oh, of course, yeah. And I mean, I could do with less Ottawa games, really. I mean, I'm running out of Owens.
Yeah, that's fair. It's fair. They got to get one sooner or later, right?
They come out of the bye, and I believe they play Montreal coming out of the bye. I'd have to look at their schedule, but I think they have.
So that's not going to be good.
No, and I think then they are in Saskatchewan after that, and then Winnipeg I think I might actually have that. Backwards, but yeah, they're the next 4 weeks are really bad for Ottawa. Okay, I got the schedule right now. So next week, they host Montreal. Okay, they're in Saskatchewan the week after. They're in Winnipeg the week after that. They're in Montreal the week after that.
Oh my God!
They host BC, which. I mean, that's about 4 to 5 weeks. Right now, I'd take Ottawa. Nathan Rourke could be back by then. Like, of all weeks, like if you're Ottawa, you're like
that week.
Yeah. like Ottawa's looking at the schedule right now. It's like, okay, I think we could take BC right now. And then Nathan Rourke comes off the 6th game. It's like, here I am, here to save the day. They're on the bye after that. Then they're in Toronto. And then I think they have a home and home against Hamilton. No, they're in Calgary after that. And then they have a home and home against Calgary. And then they're in BC after that. Man, they go a long time without playing Hamilton. I just noticed that. Wow. They host Toronto after that. And then They're on the bye. No, I must have missed a lot, but I think they have Hamilton somewhere within that. Within that, yeah, week 18, they host they host Hamilton, so somewhere in there,
Wow.
yeah. So
it's not it's so. How long do you think it's still Jake Mayer?
I don't know the ins and outs of football coaches. My best guess is if he wanted to have replaced Jake Mayer, he would have done so already. Now,
Interesting.
having said that, outside of that one game against Edmonton, I don't think you can lay actually those both games against Edmonton. That even though the weather was really running amok, Jake Mayer did not have a good game. But outside of those, I don't think Jake Mayer could be blamed for Ottawa's losses. Like he's hasn't won, hasn't taken charge
He hasn't
and
led them to the win.
that's the thing, right? I mean, you get judged based on the end result. Like I remember Stephen Giles with Winnipeg, 2010. He was most efficient quarterback that year. I think he had I think it was top 3 in yards, top 3 in touchdowns to interception ratio or something like that. Something ridiculous. He won 3 games that year.
That's right. So, yeah, I guess I mean maybe that's the key. I'm just wondering where the shakeup is going to come. It's got to come somewhere in Ottawa. Dinwiddie is not a guy who's just going to sit around and wait for it to happen. So I'm just curious how that all when they brought in MBT, I thought, oh, this isn't going to be.
That's what I thought. I thought it was just going to be like, okay, we'll give Jake one more game, and if he doesn't do it, we'll just switch over to MBT, right? Like I thought that was the whole purpose of bringing MBT in, is to give the reins to him, because Jake Mayer just wasn't cutting it, right? Giving Jake Mayer that one game after signing him made sense. And then when Jake Mayer did what he did in Edmonton, it's just like, what?
And then having the lead, like a good lead in against Winnipeg, and then not so much. Something has to. I'd be curious. Anyway, I don't want to hold you up forever, but I'm just it's interesting to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, something to talk about on the next podcast. We'll talk Jake Mayer.
That's
I always love it. It doesn't relay too much in spoken word. That my little nickname for Jake Mayer. It's
we get it. I get it every time.
It comes across beautifully online in text.
Does it? Oh,
it does. Yeah, people. It becomes evident what I'm trying to say. Otherwise, through spoken word, it's kind of like I have like some kind of speech impediment, and it's like, oh, I get it. He's meh. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
There we go. Yeah. All right. Well, that'll wrap it up for this week's podcast. Andrew, thank you very much for coming at last minute to coming on. Even though I think we've talked long enough that maybe Tony could have actually came to your house.
Probably. Yeah. Probably could have had him here. No, well, thank you again for having me. I love coming on and chatting football with you. So thanks a lot. And let's go week 8. Yay.
Yeah, go week 8. Again, let's review. Go Elks. If we had to cheer for a green team, I've got Winnipeg, you've got Calgary. I think we both have Toronto.
Yes.
Yeah, and then we both have Montreal. So
correct.
One of us, if you're new to the show, if we are 4 for 4, we come in wearing with the Mr. Perfect theme music.
And there's a flyover, and I get free gas and the whole bit, right?
Speaking of wrestling, okay, I wanted to talk about this. I don't know if you're a wrestling fan.
I go back and forth, but yes, I know a bit. Yes.
So recently, The Undertaker has been coming out without his dead man gimmick, right? And he's been inducting people into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Okay.
It comes out of nowhere, and it's kind of like a nice behind the scenes. How odd! I don't know if they do this in the NHL, if they are Major League Baseball or the NFL or NBA, but they have started to doing this with the CFL, and I love it. Most recent, they inducted Kelvin Tiggle, very phenomenal player between the Argos and the Tiger Cats throughout the 90s. They did so with Sean Millington. They did so. I think Corey Mace inducted Charleston Hughes through Zoom call. And then the first one was Brandon Banks in week 1. I just love that. It's like
that was awesome.
And I can't get enough of that one. I think that needs to be something that starts like that needs to be a yearly tradition. So I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I loved it. Yeah, it was such a great react. To be able to be there for the reaction is awesome.
I want to be recording the podcast when we announce that Matt Nichols is inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Is he going in as a manager? That would be the way that I'd put him in.
Hall of Fame manager.
That's right.
Years of Tony saying, "Explain Matt Nichols to me," and
that's
I don't have to. He's got a Hall of Fame ring now.
That's right. Yeah, Hall of Fame game manager. It's amazing. I'm excited for. That's the line that is right before he gets inducted. Explain Matt Nichols to me. Well, he's a Hall of Famer. What? Like that would be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a mic drop.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We just watched Tony fizzle into a pool on the floor because he doesn't understand.
It's like Avengers Infinity War.
That's right.
It's like, it feels so good. I always love bringing up like 8-year-old references, by the way.
It's outstanding. Yeah.
All right. We got to get going. You got to get to bed. I do too as well. Thanks for coming on. And for Tony and for Andrew, I am Dalts. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening. Find more great shows like this at CF Pod Network on Twitter.